Who likes going to markets with handmade items? Today, it's for the makers out there who enjoy these types of markets, and you might even want to organize one. Back when I was making physical handmade items and crocheted gifts, photography props, little fabric items like backpacks for kids, from time to time I would go to local markets and sell the items. Sure, selling online is convenient, and we all got used to buying online since the forced stay at home. But there's something about the sounds of people walking around, enjoying finding new items that they like and holding it, showing their friends, hearing the chatter going on at the market cafe, and the smell of those cinnamon rolls. Are you sitting in front of a pile full of tasks for your business, family, household, and everything else to do, and long for that to go away? The trick is creating passive income. Of course, there's some work behind the passive part, but working 20% compared to 120 completely turned around how I enjoy life today. Great to have you here. Are you ready to move the needle, work less, and earn more? Grab your latest craft project and your favorite drink. Let's stitch together purpose, profit, and peace to create the life we've long been wanting. But the thing was, they weren't always easy to find. Often I had to drive to other cities, and that became a little too inconvenient. So I decided, why not create my own? At the time, one trend that really caught on was something called a Koffermarkt in German, literally a sell-out-of-a-suitcase market. Sellers would display their handmade goods in and all around vintage or any type of decorative luggage. Imagine walking into a hall filled with open trunks, suitcases, and crates, each telling their own story. I bought myself a big black vintage military trunk with leather straps, painted on the inside white, and set it up with my items. I still have that trunk as a decoration in my house today, and it takes me back to those markets every time I open it up. I remember seeing anything from handmade comic and photography cards, also crocheted Christmas ornaments gifted inside of cards, jewelry in all of its creative variations, handmade soaps, homegrown concentrated juices in beautiful bottles, and cooking oils. The large wooden Christmas stars made of tree trunks were always a favorite of mine. Well, I really like crocheting, and I made specialty handbags, both knitted and crocheted. The whole thing got started when I made these really cute little crocheted animals that I gave away or made to order, and then I added other items as well as I went. I made things to order like winter knitted hats and shawls, flower bracelets and rings, iPad sleeves, and little mobile charger bags that held your phone while charging in the wall. And even a Lightning McQueen car, 20 inches long. My son insisted that he keep it at the time. Those memories. Then the idea popped up to help women to earn some additional money for their families in the underprivileged countries that I supported ministries in. I had been doing that for years, so I taught them how to crochet the items I designed and sold these at the markets. I even planned to sell them to department stores. Not only did I make a nice little profit at the markets, which I donated to the children's ministries in those countries, but it became a way to connect my creativity with a bigger purpose. For me, markets aren't just about sales, but about community and impact. Do you ever consider, or do you think you'd ever consider setting up such a market? Let's have a quick look at some of the prep details and see if that would be something that you could take on. First of all, get yourself some team members. There's nothing like having someone to bounce ideas off of and knowing that someone has your back when it's needed. Setting up, decorating, price tagging, even selling can be hard if you're the organizer. So the first thing to do would be to crunch the numbers. Venue costs and table fees. Work out how many sellers you need to cover expenses and still have a profit buffer. This will make the basis of all of your profits for the market. Venues that provide tables save you a lot of transport and setup headaches, or the sellers could bring their own tables. And don't forget to budget for extras. Think insurance, permits, advertising, snacks and drinks for volunteers. A tip, always plan for 10 to 15% more cost than expected. Surprises do happen. Think closely about the costs to charge for the spaces. Too much will eat away from the seller's profits, and that won't encourage them to come. But still don't underprice them for your benefit. Step 2, need to pick the right location. Not only do you need the right size and cost, but the feeling of a location and accessibility is everything. People will not come back if getting in is difficult, parking is impossible, or public transport is miles away. So choose venues that people already love to visit, like community centers or church halls, cultural centers, school cafeterias even. Cozy barns or outdoor locations if the weather is somewhat reliable. And choose your season. If you choose before Christmas or back to school or even a spring refresh at Easter, can make the market feel timely. Step 3, marketing that works. You need to start early. A few months runway gives both sellers and buyers time to plan. I've even seen online events spanning a year ahead. The double network effect. Set up a special agreement to encourage sellers to promote to their own circles, and it multiplies reach without extra cost. You need visual branding, like using Canva to create the consistent look, posters, social graphics, even printable flyers for cafés or libraries. You can send out flyers to encourage others to hang up in different locations or to spread via email. Use the local press and also Facebook groups. Never underestimate a small town newspaper or the multitudes of community groups on social media, of course. You could give away a freebie, a seller checklist to help them get organized for the event, for instance. And then you need to curate the experience. This is where the market stands out from being just tables in a room. So come up with a unique display concept. The suitcases, for instance, trunks or themed decor, give it character. Atmosphere is big. Music, lighting, seasonal decorations, even how close the tables are to each other. Not crowded, but cozy close. And a pop-up cafe is always good. People do stay longer and buy more when there's coffee and cake. I would add prize drawings or raffles. This doesn't just build excitement and anticipation, but it collects emails for starting an email list for future events. A kids' corner is a must. A simple activity station makes it calmer for parents to shop. Do a walk around with your mobile device going live or posting a video early to get more people to join on the day, telling stories of the sellers and showing their items. And you can gamify it also with questions people have to give answers to. For instance, they have to pay attention to what you're showing on the videos. So weave in special touches that make it a memory, not just a marketplace. Step 5, add extra value for sellers. So you can come up with extra services that you could offer. For instance, brand photography. You could offer a professional photo shoot for the seller's items, either at their booths or in a small product photography setup. It helps them promote themselves later, and they might need them for their online shops. You could offer training moments like host a short pre-market workshop or booth setup or social media tips. You could have a corner to teach people different crafts. A Christmas star for the tree is a quick make, no matter which craft you use. Feature sellers online. Create a simple social media page showcasing each vendor before the event, which is also free marketing. Then, after the market, send thank yous to the sellers, to the volunteers, the customers who joined your mailing list. Of course, you do post-event recap on social media with photos and highlights, maybe even some videos. Collect feedback with a survey to make the next market even smoother. So to wrap up, organizing a market can feel daunting. But with a few extra hands and minds, it is also an amazing way to create community and showcase handmade creativity. And if you do it well, it's not just about sales on the day, it's about building visibility, having ongoing sales, relationships, and building confidence. So whether you're setting up a suitcase display, a table in a community hall, or a pop-up in a cafe, remember it's about more than the products. It's about the story, the atmosphere, and the connections. And who knows, your market might just be the place where someone finds their new favorite handmade treasure and a new favorite hobby. I hope this episode helped you move forward toward your goals and dreams, and that inspired you in some way. If it did, please do share it with a friend, and it would help me greatly if you would like to leave a review on the show. Have a look online at vikija.info, where you can find out more about the online business system I chose to run alongside my knitwear business. And that changed everything for me. That's vikija.info. There's a link and more info in the show notes. I'd be happy to mentor you every step of the way. Keep your heads up and take consistent steps forward with your eyes on the prize. And remember, mindset is the largest factor for success. See you next time and be blessed.